What's going on YouTube? Espresso Shucko here, and today we are talking about our next 7-star Terra raid, Rillaboom. And it's going to be nice and simple here. Rillaboom is going to be Terra normal, which means it's weak to fighting and immune to ghost. That's it. We don't even need the type chart for this one. As far as our stat breakdown goes, we have 100 HP, 125 attack, 90 defense, 60 special attack, 70 special defense, and 85 speed. As far as abilities go, we're most likely going to see Grassy Surge, the hidden ability here, because, every 7-star Terra raid has done this. Grassy Surge here sets grassy terrain at the beginning of the battle for 5 turns, which means everyone's going to be getting a little bit of HP back if you are using a grounded Pokemon, which is going to be relatively handy. Some likely moves we're going to be seeing coming from Rillaboom is Drum Beating, most likely Rillaboom's signature move. It is a guaranteed speed drop on top of doing damage to the target. We have Wood Hammer, which is base 120 grass type power. It does do a little bit of recoil, so it wouldn't be too bad if we see Rillaboom use Wood Hammer and chip down its own HP. Except, Terra raids tend to have stupidly high amounts of HP, so that could be a problem. As far as some normal type options go, we might see Body Slam, which is a relatively hard hitting normal type attack with a 30% chance to cause paralysis. We might see Boom Burst as well, which even though Rillaboom only has that base 60 special attack, Boom Burst could still hurt after having Stab. It's a base 140 sound attack, so it does pass through substitute, so that could be a little bit scary. As far as some other normal type options go, we might see Facade as well if Rillaboom is equipped to deal with countering status options. It might throw Facade on there and then double in power and then just spank us. We might see Hyper Voice, but chances are Boom Burst is going to be there instead because it's basically just a weaker Boom Burst. We might see Sword Stance as a means of raising Rillaboom's attack. It also gets access to Bulk Up, which could be scary. And then the other thing too is because Rillaboom is Terra normal and fighting types are going to be super effective, we could potentially see Acrobatics. And if Acrobatics is there, that could be bad for a lot of fighting types, but hey, this is the only super effective flying type attack that it has at its disposal. It doesn't get any fairy type attacks, it doesn't get any psychic type attacks. So I like our odds of being able to handle Rillaboom with a fighting type. So let's jump into some options here. And the first one, I feel like it's kind of a freebie because I already looked around and saw that people were already talking about using Galarian Zapdos. And Galarian Zapdos can be great. You have a high attack stat at 125, just like Rillaboom. Thunderous Kick is a guaranteed defense drop, which means even when Rillaboom has the Terra Raid shield up, it's still going to get that drop. You can go for your bulk up right there. You can get a +1 into your attack and defense. The more Thunderous Kicks you throw at that, the more you soften up Rillaboom. We can throw a Shell Bell onto Galarian Zapdos, and then Zapdos is going to get a little bit of HP back. And the nice thing too is if Rillaboom does have Drum Beating, well, that's a guaranteed means of activating Defiant on Galarian Zapdos, so that could be really handy. Another option I was thinking is Hisuian Decidueye. And what we can do here is we can still use the Shell Bell on Decidueye to get a little bit of HP back. And what we're going to do is we're going to have Bulk Up to increase our attack and defense, just like what I was thinking about with Zapdos. We have Roost to get back more HP if we need it. We have Decidueye's signature move, Triple Arrows. So it's a higher crit ratio move. On top of that, it has a 50% chance to lower the target's defense stat, which could be another means of softening up Rillaboom. And finally, what we have is Trailblaze. So we can increase our speed if we're worried about Rillaboom getting ahead of us, especially if you jump into the raid and maybe Rillaboom does have that acrobatics. You can go for the Trailblaze. Hopefully you live, and then you can get that speed ahead of Rillaboom, go for the triple arrows, and start softening it up. That's what I was thinking about Hisuian Decidueye. On top of that, Decidueye is not the only grass-type starter I was thinking we could bring. And what better bruiser to talk about than Chestnut? So Chestnut here actually gets access to Belly Drum, which is wild. So what we're going to do here, we're going to slap a Citrus Berry on Chestnut. We're going to go for the Belly Drum to maximize our attack. And then we have Drain Punch as our main damaging move. And what we could do too, because Rillaboom is a normal type while Terra, it's actually susceptible to Leech Seed. So we can go for the Leech Seed with Chestnut and then get a little bit of HP back in that way as well. And we can also use Pain Split. So Chestnut can use that as another means of increasing its HP. Rillaboom's going to have a drastically higher HP than normal because of the raid boss factor. So we should be able to increase our HP with Pain Split as well. And then we have that Drain Punch to just do the heavy damage. And we're going to run Terra Fighting on Chestnut to increase Drain Punch's power. And the other thing I was thinking too, as far as our EVs go, we're going to put a little bit of investment into our defense stat here. We're going to use 88 EVs into our defense to bring us up to 302 at level 100. We're going to go max attack investment on an Adamant Nature to hit 344. And then this way, Belly Drum is going to break Chestnut's attack stat. And then the rest of the EVs go into our HP for bulk. If Rillaboom does have that acrobatics, Chestnut should be able to live it so long as Rillaboom doesn't have a boost into its attack at that point. So we get that Belly Drum, we prop our Citrus Berry, we start hitting it with Drain Punch, we go Terra into Terra Fighting, we lose the 4 times flying weakness, and we go from there. Ironically enough, we can also do the same thing with Iron Hands, and the nice thing here is Iron Hands being electric fighting means it's neutral to flying, so we don't have to worry about Rillaboom that way. So we can go Belly Drum, we can go Drain Punch, and just smack it from there. And finally, Zamazenta. Scarlet and Violet rectified a terrible, terrible wrong that Sword and Shield committed. They gave Zamazenta body press. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go Zamazenta Crowned, which means we're running a base 140 defense bond. We have access to Dauntless Shield, which means we're automatically going to go +1 at the very beginning of the battle. We can go for an Iron Defense, and then from there, we start spamming body press. It's nice. Zamazenta has a really high defense stat, and the more you increase that defense, the more body press is going to do. So that's all we really have to do. Just whittle it down, Iron Defense, get bulkier, throw in an occasional heal chair out there, and go for that body press. That's it. It's simple. Anyways, guys, I hope you like those ideas. Let me know down in the comments below, and we'll see what this has come the 28th.